Hey everyone, my name's Dan. Just wanted to share a video here of my HTPC I built a couple years ago. So what's an HTPC? That's a home theater personal computer. And some might say the HTP is dead, but I don't know. I think it's kind of maybe just taken off. At least it is for me. That case there, that's a Silverstone case. It's pretty much about the size of a stereo component. I mean, that's kind of what it mimics, what it looks like, especially in my TV stand here. It kind of looks like it belongs there. It doesn't look like I have a computer off to the side, like a tower or anything like that. But it's a Silverstone case. It's got the single disk drive in it. I'm pretty glad I chose this case because they had another model just like it, but it had a flip down door on the front with a lock on it. And oh boy, I'd be flipping that door up a billion times. So I'm glad I didn't get anything like that, because you know those locks are so kind of cheesemo. Anybody could just bust right into it. So it's pretty plain on the front, just that CD tray, a couple USB plug-ins, and the power and reset button. But I think it's a pretty good case, and that's what I went with, the Silverstone. The fans that came in the case were a couple just your average run-of-the-mill fans. I replaced all three of those with the Noctua, the low noise fans. I think those are pretty sound investment, to go from the get-go with those. The power supply I chose was a Seasonic Gold Series power supply, 360 watts. Now, I know some people are going to think 360, man, you should have got way bigger power supply, but I don't really need anything any bigger, so why spend any more money, on a bonkers power supply when you don't need it? I'm not running a high-end video card. I'll also explain, I'm also only running an i3 too as well. The motherboard I chose was an H-series Asus model. It's not an overclockable board. I mean, I don't really need anything where I'm going to get into it and try to push it, because this will be plenty. The CPU, I went with an Intel Core i3, 2.9 gigahertz processor. Don't need an i5 or an i7. To me, that's just kind of throwing away your money, because for a build like this and what it's going to do and what it's going to run, the i3 is like a Ferrari. I did a stress test on this computer where I pretty much just lit it up. Everything I could possibly think of doing at once, I did it once. I was downloading something off the hard drives onto a book drive, something from the book back into the computer. I'm watching YouTube. I got Windows Media Player open. I'm encoding a DVD, a couple other things. But, I went into Task Manager, and the CPU is only at 15%. That's 15%. So there's no reason to pay up for any kind of super high-end processor, because I definitely know I wouldn't need it in a situation like this. The cooler that went on top of the i3 was a Scythe big Shashrinkin, or however that's pronounced, almost a $50 cooler. So replace that little rinky-dinky thing that just kind of comes with the Intel. We went with 8 gigabyte of Kingston memory on this. I could have went more. But I could even went less. I could have even went with 4 gig. That pretty much would have just ran this thing just fine. But the 8 gig was only $20 more, so I kind of threw the $20 at it. But for an operating system, we went with Windows 8 on here. After I got rid of that stupid tablet thing and downloaded a program called Classic Shell so I could get my start menu back. It's like, you idiots at Microsoft, what are you thinking, taking away the start menu, you boneheads? So I got the start menu back with Classic Shell, and it works pretty darn good. It's pretty rock solid, pretty stable. The OS drive is a 120 gigabyte Samsung solid state drive. And as far as the data drives that hold all my media, I have 2 of them. There's 2 8 terabyte drives inside that box. So I have just a little over 16 terabytes of space in there, and I'm probably maybe 60% full at this point. 20,000 songs, maybe 5,000 CDs in there, and at least a couple thousand DVDs. They're all in that box, and all at the the tap of a keyboard, whatever I want to pull up or play. But that drive there in the case, by the way, that's an LG Electronics. Really nice drive because it kind of matches that case. It doesn't look like a rough black plastic, which kind of would have stuck out. I think the model number on that was a WH16NS40, if anybody was interested in that. I added a card reader to the side, off to the side on this, which is just right there in the left of the picture above. I just kind of double-sided taped it under the edge there. So this way I can read all the cards too, any kind of card from a camera or anything like that, and plug that right into the PC. I also use a wireless keyboard with this. It's a Logitech K410. Pretty darn durable keyboard. Bought it for about 30 bucks. I almost sometimes just kind of throw that thing around, and it's worked great. It really has. So anyways, I got about $1,200, maybe somewhere about 12, maybe even close to $1,300 just in parts in this machine. If I were to buy this online from a place that does this, there are places that sell HTPCs. The price tag on a unit like this would probably be close to about $2,500. So kind of wish maybe I could get a few customers. I could start building these things for them, and sit around in my underwear and build computers all day long. This is the Logitech K10, the wireless keyboard. It's really durable. I mean, this thing's like a Timex. You can drop this thing and it just keeps working. But I've also got a traditional keyboard right over there on top of my TV stand, which when I looked for a motherboard, I made sure the motherboard I was going to pick was going to have your traditional keyboard and mouse outputs on it, because a lot of the newer ones, they just don't have those. It's like they're doing away with it. It's like the cassette and even the CD in the car. It's pretty much gone. But that allows me to just walk over here and use this keyboard whenever I want, because sometimes that wireless one gets lost. It's like, where is the thing? Or if I'm standing in front of the TV, this one's a lot easier to use sometimes. The mouse over there doesn't need batteries, and if the computer's sleeping, I can just walk up, tap any button, and bam, it's on. I also too got a remote control for it. This is a MSI remote control. It's like a Xbox remote, but it works for your PC. And I bought that because I asked a question to a gamer. I said, well, hey, I got a computer and I got this, that, and this in it. And, I realized like something like let's say a PlayStation 4 is pretty much a computer. It's got a board and a hard drive and all that other good stuff. It's like, why do I need a PlayStation to play like a game? And, why can't I play it on this computer? Now, keep in mind, I don't have a video card in this computer. I'm just using onboard video, which is more than ample to run any kind of, movie or anything like that I'm watching. I don't need any kind of high-end card. So after talking to a gamer about this, I found out there's a website out there called Steam, and one of the games I like to play to blow off some steam is GTA 5. So I downloaded that. 30 bucks, pretty reasonable. I mean, it's even cheaper than buying like a disc. Bought that remote control, and now I've got GTA 5 on this computer. So not only is it my media center, but it's also kind of like my game system too, which, I'm not really a gamer. I mean, yeah, I do like playing them, but, after playing like 5 hours of GTA 5, I put the controller down, I start scratching my head, and I'm like, man, I could have done something with my time or whatever. So it's not that I don't like playing video games. I kind of do, but, I just restrict myself from it because there's, much more important things I think I should be doing. Other than that, I just don't have time to do that. But I got that going on it too, which is really nice. And right behind the keyboard is a spare monitor. It's like a 15-inch monitor too, which that's another reason why I selected that motherboard, the Asus board, because it has 3 monitor outputs on it. It'll do I think it's got your typical VGA, and then a DVI, and then it's also got the HDMI. The HDMI is the connection I use up to the TV. But I'm pretty happy with the way this is set up over here. Because like I said, there's times where I can't find the wireless keyboard, and I can just walk up here, turn on the TV, and get things going right from there. And it doesn't require batteries or need to be reset or anything like that. And I use that little small monitor. Well, I kind of hooked it up because I got it for free pretty much on a trade. And I thought, well, maybe if I'm watching something on the TV and I really need to use the computer, I could display it on that monitor, which I could, but I don't really use it that much. So, but it's there if I ever do need to use it. Or who knows, maybe my television goes out and I don't have a display. I can turn on that monitor and use it as an auxiliary display. Let's see here. I'll back up a little bit. So the video is on my big screen TV. It's a 60-inch LG dumb TV. The reason I bought a dumb TV is that why do I need a smart TV when I've got an HTPC? I mean, that thing is 10 times more genius than any kind of smart TV. Plus, it's got all my media stored in it too. So, pretty happy with the way this whole computer setup has worked for me. It's been maybe 2, almost 3 years, I think, since I built it. It's rock solid. It fires up every time. It doesn't give me any business. You know, the Windows 8 on it works great. I can play games on it, and I'll admit too, we have, like, you know, Netflix and Hulu, $10 subscriptions each, but we don't have any kind of thing like cable or satellite where you're paying $100 a month just to have your entertainment piped in. I mean, if we had no internet at all, I've got enough movies in here to keep us watching movies for probably the next 5 years. We could almost see a different one every day. But that's my HTPC. Just wanted to take a moment, show it off to y'all. I think it's a great thing. I kind of wish maybe I would have built one years before, but you know, now that they have the jump in technology where, you know, I'm using and the prices have kind of come down, you're getting a little more bang for your buck. I think it's pretty much a really good sweet spot of where it's at, especially with the i3. And like I mentioned, I tried to stress test it with as much busy work as I could get going at once, and it's only at 15% on the processor. It's not even breaking a sweat. I primarily use this for movies. I used to use it a lot more for audio, but now that, you know, smartphones and the SD cards have gotten a lot bigger, I find myself using the smartphone to play my audio into my stereo, which right behind the keyboard over in that right corner there, that's an audio engine, Bluetooth converter, and that piece is phenomenal. Usually Bluetooth is going to squash your sound, which if you're running MP3s, you're kind of already squashed already. But whatever they do to that thing, I don't know. I mean, I fire up a song on the phone and I sit back, and to me it kind of fools me into think I'm listening to the CD. So that's how I get my audio into my stereo, but it's also all in my computer too as well. When I play it on Media Player, I have a couple apps that run in the background. Like one of them is called Mini Lyrics. So as the song's playing on my television screen, it will put up the album cover of whatever song is playing, and will also scroll the lyrics right across on my TV, almost kind of like a karaoke. You know, a really cool thing too. But I don't find myself using that much anymore now that I use my phone, because I'm walking around and I've got full control with that and volume and all that. That's right in the palm of my hand. But this is my HTPC. Just like I said, it's worked unbelievably stellar for me in the last couple years. And one of those hard drives, one of those 8 terabytes is full, and I'm just starting to put things onto the other one. But if that fills up, I think I could probably squeeze another 8 terabyte hard drive into that case and be up to 24 terabytes. But you know, it would take me years and years and years to fill that. But it could happen. You never know. And maybe down the road, if I need more, where the CD drive is in the computer, I could pull that out, block that off, and put another 8 terabyte drive in there. So I could really squeeze in 32 or 4 8 terabyte drives into that Silverstone case, giving me a total of 32 terabytes, plus the 5th drive, which would be the solid state operating system, which those are small. They're just a little thicker than, you know, like a wallet or some credit cards. But that's where we're at for now. I'm still constantly adding day by day. Keeps the media center just keeps growing, and it's really kind of just stepped up my AV center, because like I said, anytime I want to watch a movie that we already own, which if you look over here on this wall, we own a lot of movies. Every single one of those is in that computer. Every single one of my DVDs that I ever bought in my life is in that computer. And I even sold them to those disco-round places while they were still around. So I tried to get some money back, because, you know, when you're old like me, you pretty much have probably bought your favorite artist's disc or cassette or album or whatever probably 4 or 5 times now. And since I went digital, I knew there was no going back, and the CDs were just getting to be so unmanageable. Once you have thousands of them, you know, you can't find them and changing them out. And I used to have some Sony 400 disc changers. I used to have them all in, but those darn things would break after a couple of years or two. But all those CDs are now completely inside that HTPC, all at the tap of a keyboard, all at my fingertips. Whenever I want to play it, I don't even need internet to do so. So just wanted to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope maybe that inspired you to build a computer of your own like this, which you don't even have to go this kind of crazy with it. I went with all high-end parts on this. You could really even use probably even what you have already, providing, you know, you have maybe an output that'll hook to like a TV or something like that. A few programs, you know, to use, like Kodi is an excellent front-end program for your movies, to sort those out and get all the titles and scrape that off the internet. So it's kind of like you have your own IMDb right there on your screen. But that's that. And so I hope it inspires some people maybe to do the same thing. And once you do, I think you'll be very happy with the results. So thanks for watching.